My heart is filled with sadness and anger.
정말 분하고 슬픕니다.
本当に悔しくて悲しいです。
なぜ私たちだけ公的助成を受けられないのでしょうか。
So intolerant and unhelpful for the Koreans in Japan.
Everyone has the equal right to receive a proper education.
I was third generation Korean in Japan. I study at Korean University in Japan. My university is the only place where we can learn and study every Korean things in Japan. This is the biggest reason why I study here.
I am studying English and Korean language, history and culture. I spend meaningful days at Korean University.
No, we are living in Japan. We want to learn our things.
And I want to be a Korean.
We are studying here, cherishing an identity as Korean resident in Japan.
Recently, many people in the world are suffering from the spread of COVID-19, and the situation in Japan is also unpredictable. As far as university students are concerned, every student is suffering from economic difficulties because of restriction of part-time jobs or their parents' economic hardships.
This is the reason why the Japanese government started emergency student support handout program. However, we students at Korea University were excluded from the system.
As the university carries out online lessons, electronic devices such as PCs are necessary for university students, but they are expensive.
Some of my classmates cannot afford to get them, as we cannot do our part-time jobs due to COVID-19. We need support to continue our study.
One of my schoolmates may have no choice but to quit the university.
My family is suffering from economic difficulties due to the spread of COVID-19. I also cannot earn money and face difficulties in my life. I'm proud of being Korean and want to learn Korean language and history at Korea University. However, in this situation, it is impossible to continue to study. I cannot afford to pay educational expenses.
I'm from Fukuoka Prefecture. It costs a lot to study here in Tokyo. In addition, it is severe for my family to live as usual.
We have double difficulty, not only from COVID-19, but also from racial discrimination.
Our daily lives become harder and harder under this situation, so we want the government to apply the program to students at Korea University.
When I was 10 years old, a racist group suddenly came to school and gave hate speeches, such as "Return to Korea." In my high school days, I was also discriminated against by being excluded from high school tuition-free program. And now, I am discriminated against at university. It's more than 10 years. When we were Korean high school students, we were excluded from high school tuition-free policy. Discrimination continues even under the COVID-19 situation.
The Japanese government excluded the Korean kindergartens and nursery schools from the policy to make preschool education and daycare services free.
Korean students are facing a lot of discrimination in Japan. We really need help from international community.
Please support our lives. I hope that the Japanese government will help our lives as much as possible.
We can't overlook the discrimination and we won't be silenced. We are fighting against it, but there is no progress in the present circumstances.
Why only students at Korea University are discriminated? I want the government to stop discrimination.
Please give us the right to law.
We want the government to guarantee our right to study Korean school in Japan.
I oppose Japanese government's discriminatory treatment against Korean. COVID-19 attacks every people equally, both Japanese and Korean.
My ancestors came to Japan while Japan colonized Korea. I'm concerned that such discriminations against Korean students in Japan by Japanese government will lead to the other discriminations in Japanese society.
우리 조선대학교 학생들은 일본 정부의 공정하고 평등한 교육 권리의 보장을 요구합니다.
私たち朝鮮大学生は日本政府に対し公正で平等な教育権利の保障を求めます。